The cold silence of space stretched on as the alien Armada, a fleet of sleek, heavily armed warships, made its way toward Earth. The stars glittered in the distance, seemingly oblivious to the danger approaching. On board the flagship, Commander Zarok stood before a massive digital display, his mind focused on the mission ahead. His fleet had been traveling for months, passing through uncharted galaxies, preparing for their final conquest. The intelligence report they had received was crystal clear: Earth was a primitive world, barely worth acknowledging. No advanced technology, the report had said. Zarok's orders were simple: invade, conquer, and enslave. But as the fleet neared Earth, something strange began to happen. Zarok frowned as his ship's AI system flickered, a strange glitch causing the display to distort. "What's going on?" he muttered under his breath. His crew scrambled to check the systems, but every attempt to fix the problem seemed to make it worse. They weren't just encountering a small malfunction, something was affecting the entire fleet. On board the ships, the same thing was happening. Alien warships, cloaked in advanced stealth technology, glided silently through space, their weapons powered up, ready for battle. But now, their cloaking devices were flickering, becoming unstable, revealing their exact positions. Zarok's command center erupted into chaos as a series of alarms blared. "What's causing this?" one of the engineers screamed. No one had any answers. It made no sense. Their cloaking devices had never failed before. These were the most advanced technologies in the galaxy, designed to make them invisible to any enemy. But Earth's magnetic field, something they had never even considered, was somehow disrupting their systems. Slowly, the realization began to dawn: Earth wasn't as helpless as they had assumed. Zarok growled in frustration. "Prepare for full-scale invasion," he ordered, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. "We'll crush whatever pitiful defense they put up. This will not stop us." But even as he gave the order, something else unexpected happened. The magnetic disturbance grew stronger, not weaker. Alien warships, in full view of Earth sensors, suddenly found their weapon systems failing. Every time they tried to fire, their weapons malfunctioned, misfiring into the empty void of space. The AI systems that had once calculated every move with precision now seemed confused, glitching in real time. Their fleet had the power to destroy entire planets, but they were powerless against Earth's natural defenses. Zarok's voice trembled with rare uncertainty as he barked orders. "Status report, now." But his officers were just as lost as he was. No one knew what was causing these problems, and no one had any way of fixing it. The technology that had served them so well for centuries was suddenly useless. Zarok felt a growing sense of unease. He had underestimated Earth. And now, he was paying the price. As the fleet hovered in space, just outside Earth's orbit, the magnetic field seemed to grow stronger, as if it had a mind of its own. The ships began to drift off course, uncontrollably pulled by the powerful forces around them. Zarok's frustration reached a boiling point. "Activate all backup systems," he commanded, but even that didn't work. They were stuck. Just as the situation seemed impossible, a new alarm sounded, one that sent a chill down Zarok's spine. "Cloaking devices compromised," an officer reported in disbelief. "The entire fleet is visible to Earth's sensors." Zarok stared at the monitor, his eyes widening in shock. The once invisible fleet of advanced warships now stood fully exposed, vulnerable to Earth's defenses. This was the last thing he expected. In his mind, Earth had been nothing more than a stepping stone, a primitive planet for an easy conquest. But now, it was clear, something on this world was far more powerful than any technology they had encountered before. Zarok's hand slammed down on the command console. "Prepare to engage," he said through clenched teeth. He couldn't afford to show any sign of hesitation. He had to assert control. But as the fleet lurched forward, he realized one undeniable truth: Earth was no longer just a target. It had become a threat. And the invasion, which he had thought would be a simple victory, was quickly turning into the biggest challenge of his career. The sudden news of the alien fleet's approach sent shockwaves through Earth's defense command centers. Scientists and military commanders scrambled to assess the situation. The alien ships had been detected, but no one understood how they had managed to slip past Earth's outer defenses unnoticed. The magnetic anomaly caused by Earth's field was like nothing anyone had ever seen before. How could something so simple disrupt the aliens' advanced technology? No one had answers. Commander Bonner, a battle-hardened leader with years of experience, stood in the middle of the operations room, his eyes scanning the reports coming in from all over the world. Bonner had led countless missions before, but nothing like this. He knew that this wasn't just another invasion. There was something strange going on, and it was up to him and his team to figure it out. "Commander," one of his officers called out, "the magnetic field is affecting their cloaking devices and weapons systems. The problem is, we don't know why. They've never faced anything like this before." Bonner rubbed his chin, deep in thought. He knew their only advantage was their knowledge of Earth's natural environment. The alien fleet was powerful, yes, but Earth had one thing the aliens couldn't understand: its magnetic field. It was a force of nature that couldn't be controlled or predicted by even the most advanced technology. But it was still unclear how this was interfering with the alien ships. The command center buzzed with activity as engineers, scientists, and soldiers worked together to analyze the alien technology. The aliens were cloaked, their presence nearly undetectable, but that was quickly changing. Their warships were starting to lose their advantage. Bonner's team couldn't afford to waste time. Earth had limited technology compared to the vast alien armada, and their conventional weapons were no match for the alien firepower. "We need to act fast," Bonner said, his voice steady but filled with urgency. He looked at his top engineers and military strategists. "I want an orbital bombardment plan in place within the hour. We have no idea what those ships can do, but we can't afford to wait and find out." The engineers and strategists nodded in agreement, but there was a palpable sense of unease in the room. The orbital bombardment was their best shot, but it wasn't foolproof. The bombardment would require precise timing and the coordination of multiple forces, and there was a risk that the aliens would retaliate before they could launch the attack. Bonner turned to his team of soldiers. "Get your gear ready. We don't know if this will work, but we have to be prepared to fight. If the bombardment fails, we'll have to face these ships head-on." The soldiers moved quickly, preparing for the worst. Bonner knew that the odds were against them. They had limited resources, a small window of time, and an unknown enemy that had far superior technology. But he wasn't going to give up. He had seen battles where the odds seemed impossible, yet the human spirit had triumphed. This would be no different. As the soldiers lined up, ready for whatever came next, Bonner stared at the view of the sky from the command center's window. The alien fleet loomed closer, massive ships hanging in space like dark shadows. They were getting closer by the minute, and Earth's last line of defense was rapidly being put into place. Bonner could feel the tension building. This was the calm before the storm. "Stay sharp," Bonner muttered under his breath. "We fight for our planet today." As Earth's defense forces continued to monitor the alien fleet, a breakthrough came unexpectedly. The team of scientists, led by the brilliant Dr. Lila, had been working tirelessly to understand the mysterious interaction between Earth's magnetic field and the alien technology. Dr. Lila, a senior engineer with a sharp mind, finally made a discovery that could change the course of the battle. She gathered her team around a large display in the research lab. "I think I've found the problem," she said, her voice filled with a mix of excitement and disbelief. "It's the magnetic field. Earth's magnetic field is naturally disrupting their technology. The alien systems can't handle it." The room fell silent as the weight of her words sank in. The aliens, with their advanced weaponry and cloaking devices, were vulnerable to something as simple as Earth's magnetic field. It was a revelation that no one had expected. Earth's magnetic field wasn't just an obstacle for the aliens, it was their undoing. But Commander Xerox and his forces were too deep in their assault plans to realize what was happening. His fleet pushed forward, unaware that their technology was failing at the hands of something so primitive. Xerox's orders grew more frantic as his fleet's cloaking devices continued to malfunction, leaving them exposed to Earth sensors. He couldn't comprehend why their advanced weapons systems were misfiring, why their ships were struggling to maintain control. Why aren't the weapons firing? Xerox roared as another ship's weapons system malfunctioned. His frustration grew with each failed attempt, but the source of the problem remained elusive to him. The very technology they had relied on for centuries was now useless, and Xerox, desperate to regain control, pushed his forces further into the chaos, not realizing that the more they advanced, the deeper they were drawn into Earth's trap. Back on Earth, Commander Bonner and his team were not wasting time. They knew that Earth's defense systems, though strong, weren't enough to defeat the alien Armada on their own. They needed something more, something unexpected. Bonner's eyes narrowed as he received the confirmation. "Activate the supercomputer," he ordered, his voice calm but filled with determination. This was their last chance. The supercomputer, an AI-driven marvel of human engineering, was Earth's secret weapon. Capable of manipulating gravity and generating powerful electromagnetic bursts, it was technology the aliens could never have anticipated. While the aliens had focused all their efforts on advanced weaponry, cloaking devices, and AI, they had completely overlooked the power of Earth's natural forces. The moment the supercomputer was activated, a surge of energy coursed through Earth's defense systems. The gravity manipulation technology instantly created waves of gravitational distortion, pulling the alien ships into disarray. Their navigation systems, already struggling with the magnetic field, now began to malfunction further. The electromagnetic bursts hit the alien warships like a hammer blow, scrambling their already weakened systems. It was like watching a predator become prey. On Xerox's flagship, the alien commander felt the full force of the attack. His ships were falling apart. The supercomputer's electromagnetic bursts were like a relentless storm, tearing through their systems. The alien forces tried desperately to reset their machines, but it was too late. Their technology was in chaos, and they couldn't regain control. Xerox stood, frozen for a moment, as the realization hit him. Their power. He muttered, his eyes wide with disbelief. It's coming from the planet. Earth's magnetic field is affecting everything. Panic began to spread through the fleet. The aliens had underestimated Earth in every way, and now they were paying the price. Bonner's voice crackled over the comms, his words sharp and decisive. This is Earth's time. We're not backing down. As the alien Armada struggled to adapt, Earth's defense systems were hitting them with everything they had. The tide of battle was shifting, and for the first time, the humans were in control. Xerox, realizing that his fleet's destruction was imminent, began to sound the retreat. But it was too late, the humans had discovered their secret weapon, and the aliens were no longer the predators. Earth had become the hunter. As the alien fleet descended, ready for full-scale invasion, Earth's defense systems went into overdrive. But what the aliens hadn't expected was the power of Earth's magnetic field. Their advanced technology, once thought invincible, was now failing them, leaving them vulnerable. The alien ships struggled to adapt, but they couldn't escape the effects of Earth's magnetic field. The battle for Earth was about to begin, but the humans had only one option left: they had to rely on older, more primitive technology. The modern weapon systems were no longer effective against the alien invaders. Earth's military forces scrambled to prepare with what they had: manual weapons, energy shields, and strategies they had not used in years. They were no match for the alien fleet's firepower, but it was their only hope. Though it seemed impossible, the humans were standing their ground. The battle was far from over, but Bonner knew that, somehow, Earth's spirit was stronger than any alien force. The fight for survival had only just begun, and with each passing minute, the humans grew more determined. The alien fleet was now fully ensnared in the grip of Earth's magnetic field. Xerox and his commanders could feel the pressure building with each passing second. Their ships, once unstoppable and advanced beyond anything Earth had, were now struggling to function. The magnetic field interfered with their navigation, weapons systems, and most importantly, their ability to retreat. Xerox's face twisted in frustration as he watched his fleet falter. The once proud Armada was now a collection of floating targets, trapped in Earth's invisible grasp. "No, this can't be happening," he muttered, his hands clenched around the control panel. "Their technology is primitive, how can they be this strong?" On Earth, Commander Bonner stood at the heart of the operation, his eyes locked on the screens showing the alien fleet in turmoil. His strategy had worked. The magnetic shield that Earth had activated now surrounded the alien ships, trapping them in a huge, invisible net. They couldn't escape. The magnetic forces were disrupting their systems so severely that the aliens couldn't launch a counterattack. "This is it," Bonner said, his voice calm but filled with an unspoken urgency. "Time to execute the final strategy." Bonner's final plan was a massive orbital bombardment, a last-ditch effort to ensure the alien fleet was neutralized once and for all. As he gave the order, the sky seemed to light up with energy. Hundreds of missiles and energy blasts rained down from Earth's defense satellites, all targeted at the trapped alien ships. The blasts were so powerful that they illuminated the entire night sky, casting a fiery glow across the landscape. The first few missiles hit their targets, exploding in massive bursts of light and smoke. The alien ships shook violently, their shields flickering and failing under the relentless assault. In space, the alien fleet was in chaos. The ships were unable to defend themselves, their weapons useless against the Earth's magnetic field and the bombardment. Bonner watched as the alien fleet, once the epitome of technological superiority, began to fall apart. One by one, alien ships exploded or were torn apart by the blasts. But even in the face of their inevitable defeat, the aliens refused to give up. Xerox's face turned pale as he watched his fleet being destroyed. His grip on the control panel tightened. "Retreat," he ordered, his voice a mix of anger and defeat. "Fall back. Now." But the Earth's magnetic field had other plans. The alien ships tried to flee, but the magnetic forces didn't let them go. It was like they were being held in place by an invisible hand, unable to break free. Earth's shields, combined with the magnetic field, had created an impenetrable barrier that the alien technology couldn't overcome. Bonner's heart pounded as he watched the final moments unfold. His team had fought valiantly, pushing back an enemy that seemed unstoppable. Now, it was almost over. The alien fleet was in full retreat, realizing that they were no match for Earth's natural forces. In the control room, Bonner's team cheered as they saw the alien ships begin to withdraw, but Bonner's expression remained serious. This battle was over, but the cost had been high. His soldiers, the ones who had sacrificed everything for Earth, were still on his mind. The alien fleet, once confident in their superiority, now retreated into the stars, leaving Earth behind. Xerox's final message crackled through the communications system: "Earth's natural forces have proven more powerful than our technology. We withdraw." Commander Bonner stood tall, his eyes scanning the screen as the last of the alien ships disappeared into the darkness of space. The Earth had won. The invasion was over, and humanity had fought back against an overwhelmingly advanced alien force. But as Bonner looked at the faces of his team, he knew that the victory came at a great cost. They had saved Earth, but at what price? As the alien armada withdrew, Earth was left in stunned silence. The massive fleet that had once looked unstoppable now lay in ruins. The Earth's magnetic field and the ingenuity of human technology had been enough to turn the tide. What had been dismissed as a primitive world by the aliens had just proven to be their greatest challenge. Commander Bonner and his team stood on the command center's balcony, gazing out at the starry sky. The battle was over, but the victory didn't feel like a celebration. Earth had triumphed, but the cost had been high. The loss of soldiers, friends, and comrades weighed heavily on Bonner's heart. Major Harris, Sergeant Caleb, and so many others who had given everything for this moment. They were heroes, but their sacrifice was not something Bonner would ever forget. Across the world, the news spread. The alien invasion that had threatened humanity's survival had been repelled. The victory was not just a military one, but a symbol of what humanity could accomplish when pushed to the edge. People cheered in the streets, families embraced, and flags were raised, but behind every cheer was a quiet moment of reflection. Humanity had faced the unimaginable and won, but it had come at a cost. Bonner and his team were hailed as heroes, their names etched into history. Ceremonies were held in their honor, and the world stood in awe of their courage. Yet, in the midst of all the attention, they remained humble. They knew that the real victory wasn't just in defeating the alien invaders, it was in the way they had come together, relying on their resilience, resourcefulness, and unwavering will to survive. The technology, the weapons, the strategies, they had all played a part. But it was humanity's spirit that had been the true weapon. As Bonner stood before the gathered world leaders, his thoughts drifted to the fallen soldiers, to those who had made the ultimate sacrifice for Earth. He honored them in silence, his heart heavy. The Earth was safe, but the cost of that safety would stay with him forever. "We did it," Bonner said to the crowd, his voice strong yet filled with a sense of bittersweet pride. "But let us never forget those who gave everything so that we could be here today." The victory was complete, and Earth had proven that it was more than just a small, defenseless planet in the vastness of space. It was a force to be reckoned with. And now, the alien forces knew that humanity was not to be underestimated. Earth had become a warning, not just to the aliens who had tried to conquer it, but to any who might dare to challenge it in the future. Bonner and his team knew this victory was just the beginning. The universe was vast, and while Earth had repelled this invasion, there were more threats out there, lurking in the shadows. But they were ready. Humanity had shown its strength, and now, they were prepared for whatever came next. Earth would stand as a beacon of resistance, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The final scenes of the story were filled with triumph. Earth's leaders, military commanders, and citizens united as one, their victory setting a new course for the future. The aliens had been defeated, but humanity had gained something even more valuable, confidence in their own strength. The story ended with a sense of hope, a promise that no matter what the future held, humanity would always stand ready to defend their world.